And look at the Bible, like, some people have different things that they read. Some people have the Quran, some people have the Torah, some people have Buddhist writings or Lutheran writings. But the one I read most, one I like most, of course, the Bible. And he says in the beginning, he says that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And people will see that, but I asked, when we get the chance to ask him, I was like, but why heaven and earth? Out of all the things you could have created, out of everything he could have imagined, out of all the things that's in his mind, why heaven and earth? And it's so perfect, it makes me question, have you done it before?
Bro, like I think about it like that because I personally believe that it has been done before because the earth has been around for millions of years. And like we talk about just heaven and earth, but it's like you have like our solar system with all these different planets. But then I'll be watching like these animes and like these different things like that actually have like history, substance, a lot of like historical
Right.
references in it. And they talk about like how there's like 12 universes. Each universe has like a god of creation, a god of destruction, with like these like supreme kais and like people that
Right.
keep things in balance for each of the universes.
Right.
And I'm like, and I can only imagine that this stuff is happening over and over. And as we're evolving, we're getting more sophisticated. Like this is like the most sophisticated technology. We look at these iPhones and it's like, dang, that's some dope technology. But like actually look at your body and like observe yourself. It's like literally we have skin, we have different layers to just our like our bodies. We got our skin,
Just
our bones, like different, and it's crazy. Like
and then language. Look at, bro.
It goes so deep.
Bro, and then you're looking at it. Then one thing that gets me is that your iPhone, you got to charge it. Your car, you need gas. Like, we don't ever got to plug up our heart. We don't ever have to like, oh, I ran out of blood. Let me go and
it's crazy.
I ran out of. And I'm sitting there like, and ever since your day of birth, it's been pumped. It's been beating.
And you talk about abundance. You talking about prosperity. How many times your heart beat a day and you ain't never got to think about it?
Right.
You ain't never got to think about it. But the thing is, we do have an energy source, and it's the abundance. And it's like we can tap into that energy source all the time through our prayers, meditation, and yoga. Like something that I really found like to be super helpful. Like along my journey, like I really been on this journey. Like I went on the journey. Like it's been crazy, man. Like I went on a journey where I super believed in Christianity, and I almost went atheist, and then it all comes back full circle to where it comes back to God. And it's like I learned that meditation and really connecting. We pray to God to talk to God, but it's like when do we ever sit down to listen to God? I read this book called Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, and it's just like
Conversations with God by Neil Donald. By who?
By Neil Donald Walsh. I'll text it to you. But like, it's just a dialogue between him and God. He was going through a low place in his life, and then he was like, "Man, I'm gonna just start writing." And literally, like, he felt this inspiration come, and like he's writing out his thoughts and like questions that he have, like, what is God? Like, why is the world the way it is? Like, why don't like all these different questions? And it's like it just made me think about my own life and like my own beliefs about God. And I'm like. And that's really when I came up with that, like my belief about like people treating people how they believe God treats them, because that's literally the source, and it's like whatever you believe about God, you believe about yourself, and you believe about other people. And that's just the way the cycle goes for me.
And I think it's so right because like I take myself, for example, like I only help kids because I feel like that's what God did for me and my brothers. And it's like, well, if you did that for me and mine, why wouldn't I be able to do that for his and hers?
That's God's word.
Because you like you said, abundance. He's giving it to us in abundance, and that's why, like, one of my favorite books of the Bible is Job, in Job 38, and he talks about it. And he's like, "Were you there when I laid the foundations of the world, or when I laid the stars together, when the stars sang together, or when I said, here the waves can come and no further? Were you there when the morning star sang? Or were you there when I gave the mountain goat birth to her? And it goes through almost any type of question or thought you could think of. And you ask, were you there?
It's like you get the answers. It's like the questions that you have, the answers are already there. They're already within, and it's crazy. Like in the Bible, and it's like I really like all religions because like I didn't dibble and dabble in all of them. Like I love Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, Christianity, because they all have a piece to the puzzle. They're all in the same.
Learn from all of them.
You go in, it's like treat people how you want to be treated, love others. That's the premise, that's the foundation. Help uplift the universal consciousness.
Right.
You got your Jesus, you got your Muhammad, you got your Buddhists, your Krishnas, and it's like they're all that divine being. And it's like honestly, this is what I believe about them. Like I look at the Bible, I look at all these books, and they're literally just telling the story about me. Like I feel like that story, like their story, it resonates so much because it's like they go throughout their life and they have a mission, and a lot of them get crucified, and like whether it's whether it's like physically, metaphorically, however they do it, like people
all of them,
all of it, and it's like following God's path. It's like you do come, it does come with a lot of that, but it's like when you, I was just having a podcast about this earlier. When you're on God's path, you can't lose. But it's like you following the man-made, the fear-based stuff. You like doing everything out of lack. I don't have this, so I got to do this. Then you you reverse God's work, and it's like when you follow God, like it's abundance. When you can feel your heart beat a million times, and it's like that's abundance. It's like what you gonna do with those heartbeats?
Abundance.
It's like, are you gonna give them heartbeats to the kids? You gonna give it to the self-love to yourself? It's like what you do with them heartbeats is key. And it's like, man, that's why I love these conversations, man.
Bro, that was real.
For real, because it's like I think about
that was real.
My energy. It's like my energy is precious. Like I can't spend my energy and effort into things that drain my soul. I want to spend it around like people and places that help uplift me because I want to uplift uplift the universal consciousness. It's like we need.
Bro,
right now.
Did you hear what you just said though? You just said our heartbeat is full of abundance, and everything is determined by what you do with those heartbeats. Will a heartbeat into a kid? Will a heartbeat, bro? And for me, that's remotivating because it's like as long as I got another one, like
as long as I got another one. I'm here. I'm on shit.
I'm good.
And then it's like I like to listen to my heartbeats through meditation. Like I on some like crazy stuff. It's like I literally sit there with my eyes closed and like boom, 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 boom.
Bro.
And it's like, and within those beats, those vibrations, and like me actually focusing on my breath, it's like messages come, like these downloads, they start to just like sit in your mind. And it's like, for me, God is breath. If you stop breathing, you stop living. So it's like cultivating that relationship with your breathing, and actually meditating and saying like, actually sitting there to like
it makes
relationship.
It may sound silly, bro. But I downloaded the meditation app because my older brother from mom just like, bro, you need to download the meditation app. Bro, you need to download the money. Bro, you need to bro, you need to. And I finally downloaded. Yeah, bro. And the first thing it said, stop, breathe, and listen. And it had me. Only thing is like go outside, sit in the grass, and it was like. And I think this is one thing our culture doesn't do enough. I think that a lot of our stress, like it says that almost like 40%, I have to get the correct percentage, but 40% of African-American males die from heart attacks, strokes, or aneurysms, or most of us don't live past 75 because food we eat, and our diets, but along with the stress, we don't take time enough to worry about our mental health.
Yeah.
And sitting there, and the thing, and then it said, put your headphones in. It says, sit on the grass. It says, don't think, touch, move. It said, just sit, exist, breathe, and listen. And then went into your heartbeat. And nowadays I'll sit there and I appreciate that heartbeat so much more, especially having kids, because there are nights where, like, I brought my daughter home from the hospital after we had my daughter and my son, and as a kid, they can't tell you whether they're alive or not. You can't say, hey, baby, when you sleep. But the one thing that makes you okay as a parent, 3 a.m, just brought your kid home, come from the hospital, you're tired, but the one thing that makes that the baby's alive in the womb or the baby's alive in the crib is you can hear or you can see their heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's that you literally like, I'm looking in the crib and I'm looking for the
That's how you know life is there. And it's like you were saying, like we don't really take that time to cultivate that, and it's like a lot of like the heart disease and heart attacks and all this stuff. It comes from lack of blood circulation. And the best way to get blood circulating is to
breathe.
Breathe. Because it's like when we get upset, we like, we'll hold our breath and we can get as mad as we want. But it's like you can't be mad when you can't be mad taking deep breaths. You can't be mad taking deep breaths. It's like you just can't. You gotta hold your breath to be pissed off. You gotta damn near kill yourself to be mad. And you gotta hold it in. You gotta hold it in. And it's like and then it's like when you hold it in, it shows in different ways. Like when you knew me, like I wasn't that big. But it's like it's crazy when you hold different stuff in. Like I noticed along my journey, like in high school, I was 175. When I got to college, I got up to like 250. And so like I started like destroying myself with different habits, like partying, drinking, eating fast food, like messing with women I wasn't supposed to be with. But it's like along the journey, you start to like love yourself more and like let go of all the toxic stuff, and it's like and breathe through it all. And it's like literally like the weight just flew off, and it's like now I'm like 190, and it's crazy like when you actually take that time to like breathe and like listen to yourself, because like the thing is innately we all know the answers and what we should be doing, but then we overthink our answers and then like deviate, and it's like God is that little small voice is like, hey, follow this. It gave you the idea, it gave you everything that you ever needed, and then our overthinking comes and you like, I don't think I should do that. Like that ain't it's hard. Like I don't know
ain't gonna work.
LLC. I don't know how to fill out a 501(c)(3). I don't know the business name. It's like, nah, do that shit.
Do that little stuff. And bro, it's crazy that, and I know I always reference the Bible, but that's one of my most inspirational books to read, and not for the religious aspect, because of course I believe
that's how
Jesus
you connect
Christ.
with God.
I believe
that's the biggest part.
And Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, one of the craziest things I ever read in the Bible is the prophet Isaiah is running from a queen that's killing off God's people. And he runs. He's like, I gotta leave because she's going through the thing, slaughtering people. But he goes into a cave and he's scared, but God comes through a storm. And when he comes, he says, there came an earthquake, but God wasn't there. Says there came a fire, but God wasn't there. There came a split in the rock, but God wasn't there. He's like, but then a whisper came and he was in the wind. And he whispers, he says, why are you here? He's like, don't you know that I've already protected you from that? Go back.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? The very thing that I'm running from, because people said that she's looking for me to kill me. You're telling me to go back, and I saw the fire, I saw the earthquake, I saw the earth shadow, I saw everything. But then you come in the wind. But if I was rushing, if I was going to, I wouldn't have heard the whisper.
And it's like you really hear God when you like, usually when you at your lowest, but it don't have to be that. People want to listen to God when they're at their lowest. It's like whenever it's like damn near like, it's your breaking point, but it's like, no, tap into God when you have it. Tap into God when you love peace. And it's like, because God gonna magnify everything that you feel on the inside. Like I think about that as symbolism. I saw the fires, I saw the storms, I saw the woman killing out people, and it's like, those are just like symbolism for the inner self-doubt. Those are just examples, but when you listen to that wind, when you slow down, when you like actually listen and like listen to the heartbeat, when you listen to the wind, it's like that's God talking, because God just the little voice is like, hey man, I've been with you all along. It's just chill.
It's like, yeah, I could kill everything, I could destroy, I can make another world. He's like, but right now I just want to talk to you.
Yeah, man, that's what I really like. I'm a big fan of the Bible and like all the powerful texts, you know, like because like all the religious texts because they give such great stories, you know, and it's like I love that they tell us who they are. Like I think it's Psalms 82:6 where it said where Jesus said, "Ye are gods, ye can do everything
Right.
that I can plus more." And I was like,
Right.
man, because I'm like Jesus is the homie, like you know, like really, like I
Right.
was really
Yeah.
into it. Youth meeting, choir rehearsal, Bible study, Sunday school, like I was in it, crying in church, like so. It's like I really had that foundation with God, and it's like I turned my back, and then like when I came back, you know, it was like it's all love. God know what it is, but it's like whenever I come back to the teachings of Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, they tell me who I am. They tell me I am divine, I am divinity, and it's like I can be that, you know. And it's like so I like
Right.
you know, I don't like to worship these beings. You know, I like to follow these beings and be who they
Right.
are. You know, and it's like a lot
And
of like because none of them
right.
said follow me, none of them said worship me, none of them said like I am. You know, it's like they said I am, but so are you. You know, there's
Right.
you can do everything that I can, and it's like
And Jesus says it. He says, "What you've seen me do, I pray to my Father that you do greater."
man,
He, he says, "I pray for the future believers who believe in me and have not seen."
that's
He
why.
was like, that you do bigger on earth. He was like, because what's in me is in him and it's in you.